Okay, we're going to go ahead and make this part, which is basically a flat piece of metal, we can call it, that has a thickness of 20 millimeters. So the first thing we recognize is that the dimensions are in millimeters. So when I create my new part, which I'll do here, we're going to want to make sure that the units are set down here in the lower right hand corner from inch pound second to millimeter gram second. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the front plane over here on the feature manager, left click and select sketch. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create the shape of this part using the center rectangle, selecting the origin and drawing the rectangle, and then going again to a center point circle, again selecting the origin and drawing my circle. That forms the basis of this part. I'll go to my Smart Dimension tool, put in the main dimension, the length as 350. The height is 120. And for the circle, its radius is 2 by 95. So I'll put that in and we'll go 2 times 95. If I want to display that as a radius, I can right click on the dimension here and click this option up here from the flyout menu to display as radius. Okay, so that forms the basis of the shape. I'm going to go ahead and extrude this out. So I'll go to Features, Extruded Boss. I'll set the depth to 20. And what I'm going to do is I have to, since there's multiple contours here to choose, it's already asking me to use the selected contours. So when I have a case like this, I'm just going to select the edge of the rectangle, which will choose the entire rectangle, and the edge of the circle that will choose the entire circle. And we'll say OK. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the 4 fillets that have a radius of 25. So I'll go again in the Features tab. I'm going to use the fillet. Make sure that I have full preview turned on and set the dimension to be 25. And then I'll just zoom in so I can select these edges. And this one. And over here, and you'll note that I don't actually even need to rotate the part. SOLIDWORKS will look through the part to find edges. So there's my 4th edge. And I'll go ahead and say OK. For the rest of this, I'm going to change my display style to be hidden lines visible. And I'm going to go do a sketch now on the front face. And what I need to do is put in this circle and the 2 slots. So I'll go ahead and use the center circle tool, put my circle in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a center line, and I'm going to make it horizontal and midpoint, and I'm going to use this to locate my 2 slots. So I'll select the origin again, come out horizontally. And then once I have that drawn, I can just go to my straight slot tool and put the first one in, make sure I'm horizontal, and put the second one in. Now these slots are going to be equal to each other, and there is a relationship that I can put in. So holding the control key down, I could just select any element of the slot of the first one and any element of the second slot, and when I let go of my control key, I'm going to use the make equal. So it's a make equal slot. Alright, now we'll put the dimensions in. For the circle, the full cutout will have a diameter of 120, and for the slots, the distance offset from the side is 25. The width of the slot itself is 50, and the radius of the slot is 10. If I zoom out and check over on the other side, you'll see that everything is fully defined on the other slot because of using the midpoint line. It actually set up the essentially the 25 millimeter distance on this side. So with all that done, I'm just going to do features, and we'll do an extruded cut now, and the cut distance will be through all. So there's my part. Let me again put it into shaded view, make it a little bit easier to see, and that is the part done. The only thing we want to check now is let's check out its material properties. So we'll go under the Evaluate tab and we'll do Mass Properties. And again, using the default density, we find out that the mass is 694.02 grams. The volume is 694,020 cubic millimeters, and the surface area is 102,247.11 square millimeters. So you can see when we use millimeters, sometimes our volume and our surface area actually get to be fairly large numbers. While I'm in here, I might as well show you one other thing. Say I want to set the material of this. I can right click on material over here, and I'll go into the full editing material later, but you'll see that there are some favorites that are chosen here. So say I wanted to make this out of copper, I can just select copper, and now when I go to my mass properties, it'll actually have an actual density, and I can do the mass. Sometimes people get a little upset that the density is only 0.01. That's because we're normally given kilograms per cubic millimeter, so cubic meter, so the number is sometimes larger, but the density you can just verify for yourself that everything works out to being okay. All right, so that's all we have for this part.